facts. Got another for you guys today. We are continuing on with the Randy Orton career series. Now, where are we at now for this one? It will be Randy Orton, the Legend Killer Superstar status. Now, at the timeline where we left off, we're at beginning of 2006, and we're at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view event, which is January 29th. Randy Orton is number 30 for the Royal Rumble. And the last three for the Royal Rumble will be himself, Triple H from Raw, number 1, Rey Mysterio, also from Smackdown, number 2. So these guys going at it. Triple H is last eliminated by Rey Mysterio. Then it comes down to the two of Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton. Now, when Randy Orton has Rey Mysterio up, he plans on throwing him over the top rope. But Rey Mysterio counters, does a Hurricanrana move, and he throws Randy Orton over the top rope. So, since Randy Orton did lose the Royal Rumble and Rey Mysterio won, that guarantees Rey Mysterio a World Championship opportunity at WrestleMania. Now, for this opportunity, he stayed on SmackDown and chose to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship against the champion at the time, Kurt Angle, who had just finished defending his championship against Mark Henry. So Randy Orton is upset that he didn't win. He cut a promo the following SmackDown, telling Ray that it must have been divine intervention. How did he won? He got lucky. So they played off the fact that Rey Mysterio was close friends with the late Eddie Guerrero, as I mentioned in my last video. He passed away November of 2005. He was only 38. R.I.P. to him. Since him and Eddie were very close, they said in a tribute video while they was playing for Eddie Guerrero, for Stephanie McMahon, and when she did her tribute to him, she said that Eddie Guerrero had told her that he was slated to win the World Heavyweight Championship. He was booked to win against Batista, his last feud he really had before he passed away. So since he didn't win the championship due to his untimely passing, they was going to basically, give it to Rey Mysterio as a token of that, since he was so close to Eddie. Randy Orton mentioned that in his promo, saying that you aren't here for basically a charity case. You got here because of Eddie. And he cut a very, very infamous promo saying that Eddie Guerrero's not in heaven. He's down there in hell, which is the most distasteful, disgusting things to ever say, period, in life. He did to catch major heat, which he indeed did. And he goaded Rey Mysterio into putting his World Championship opportunity on the line at the No Way Out pay-per-view, which Rey did agree to. So on the following SmackDown, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton had exchange. Randy Orton came out first to cut a promo. He was talking about he was talking about Eddie Guerrero. He mentioned his book that he had. He was saying more disrespectful things about Eddie. And he came out even in his famous lowrider that Eddie used to ride to the ring. From behind, out of nowhere, Rey Mysterio attacked Randy Orton. And the officials got Rey off of Randy. So after that, leading up to it, they had their match at No Way Out. A lot of good offense from both. Randy Orton worked on Rey Mysterio's arm during the match. Rey Mysterio got some good offense on Randy Orton. He worked on his, I believe, lower body, and he got some good moves on him. I know he botched the 619 from what he did from the ring post to Randy Orton. So he quickly did another one so you couldn't notice. But one move Randy Orton did do, Rey Mysterio again went for a 619. He missed this time. Randy Orton ducked. He did a schoolboy pin, held the rope for leverage with the ref's back turned, and he counted 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton is now in the championship match against Kurt Angle for No Way Out. For WrestleMania event at No Way Out, he won. Rey Mysterio out. Rey Mysterio is upset. He felt like he let everyone down. He was just kicking himself, beating himself up over it. How could he do this to Eddie, the Guerrero family, his family, himself, that he lost the opportunity he let slip in his hands? Now, then following Smackdown, he came out how upset he was. And Teddy Long, general manager of SmackDown, came out saying that he saw the footage, say he couldn't reverse the decision of Randy Orton winning at No Way Out. Couldn't change anything. What he did was add Rey Mysterio to the match at WrestleMania. So now it becomes a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Kurt Angle, the champion, versus both Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. And of course, Randy Orton is livid. He is going off. Why did he get added to my match? This is my match. I wanted No Way Out. And he had a match that night, and Teddy Long told him, you better get out there and get in that match, or I'm going to take that from you. So Randy Orton's going off, had his tag team match, and he was just still upset. How could Rey Mysterio be in the match leading up to it? Now, during this week coming up, the following SmackDown, they said backstage that Randy Orton was getting really irritated of his theme song, Burning My Light. For 1 week, he asked could he choose his own theme song. Vince McMahon let him choose it, and it was This Fire Burns he came out to. He had a match against Super Crazy on that SmackDown, and they told him, hey, this doesn't fit your theme. This is not a part of your character, which I agree. And we're going to go back to Burning My Light. And that, for you guys don't know, that theme song eventually went to CM Punk when he was coming into the WWE. That was his theme song before he switched to cult of personality. Just a fun fact for you guys. Well, let's get back to the business here on hand. Following week on SmackDown, it was a tag team match. Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio versus Mark Henry and Randy Orton. Now, Randy Orton and Mark Henry, they put a hurting on Kurt Angle. Randy Orton RKO'd Kurt Angle. And then he put Kurt Angle on the table, and he had big old world's strongest man, 400-pound Mark Henry, get on that turnbuckle to climb down and crash down on Kurt Angle. So he was beaten up bad. Now, like the following week on SmackDown, they had a little segment. It was all three of them. They was talking about, hey, you guys got 2 matches coming up before WrestleMania. They had a tag team match on SmackDown versus Eminem, which is Mercury and Morrison, who were the tag team champs at the time, and Mark Henry. And the following night, which they don't air anymore, they used to. They did for a short period of time in the early 2000s, and it was very popular in the 80s. This show was called Saturday Night Main Event, which was aired on NBC. For the first time ever, that match was the SmackDown main event, which is Kurt Angle, Mysterio, Orton, versus Raw's main event for the WWE Championship, which would be John Cena and Triple H. So it's going to be that match. And Michael Cole interviewed all 3 of them. And Orton was being a smart aleck, saying, hey, Kurt Angle, how do you feel? You know, we beat you up last week. I already killed you. I know you got that bad neck. And we can't crash on the table. So Orton, you know, does what he does. Heelish. And Kurt Angle was saying, hey, I made it through your best, made it through Mark Henry best. I'm still here. I had all these neck surgeries. Then Randy Orton moved on to Rey Mysterio. He was saying again, you're a charity case. You should not be in this match. He said that again. And Rey Mysterio was just saying, hey, I faced adversity my whole life. My whole career, they told me I couldn't do anything. And then Kurt Angle, he went on the conversation saying, hey, Ray, he does deserve to be here. He shocked the world. He won the World Rumble. And he even eliminated you to win the World Rumble. And then him and Kurt Angle went at it back and forth. So they had a little nice segment there. Now, they had the two matches. The first match, as I mentioned, on Smackdown with Mark Henry and Eminem. They won that match after Randy Orton, let Rey Mysterio do the work, tossed him out the ring, and he come for the 1, 2, 3. So they won that match. However, Saturday night main event, not so much. They lost that match. Crazy is both partners on each team's turned on each other. Triple H pedigree John Cena when he was going for a pin, and Randy Orton RKO'd Kurt Angle. Now, Randy Orton was going to RKO Cena. He countered, did a roll-up, 1, 2, 3. Cena and Triple H win that match. So, that match was over with. We go on to WrestleMania, triple threat match. This match wasn't that long. Kurt Angle, he was killing. He did a lot of suplexes to both Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. He got the ankle locks even on him. But Rey Mysterio kept breaking it up, or Randy Orton broke it up. You would think Kurt Angle would have retained his championship. So when it came down to it, it was Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton. Rey Mysterio got Randy Orton, set him up for the 619, got him there, pulled his legs up for the pin. Kurt Angle was out the ring, 1, 2, 3. Kurt Angle tried to break it up. It was too late. Winner and new champion, Rey Mysterio. He wins the World Heavyweight Championship. He's congratulated by Vic Guerrero and Chavo right before he leaves the whole stage. They hug him, saying how they're proud of him. He did this for everyone. With this win, Rey Mysterio was the lightest champion of the World Heavyweight Championship. The lightest champion, I think, period. And also, he was the first guy seen that was a cruiserweight winning the World Heavyweight Championship of that size. Because before, you had your Daniel Bryans and your Kofi Kingstons and your CM Punks. He was the first guy I saw to win a championship of that size. So he pretty much paved the way for smaller guys of his size to win. So he really set the bar with that one. Now, after WrestleMania, Randy Orton gets the championship match, basically a rematch. He was the champion for the World Heavyweight Championship. Wasn't a long match on that SmackDown. Rey Mysterio beat him. Now, there's a rumor stating that Randy Orton was supposed to win at WrestleMania 22. And then I heard another rumor he was supposed to also win for that Battle Royal that Kurt Angle won when he came from Raw to SmackDown to win the vacant World Heavyweight Championship when Batista got injured January 13th. So, but they say he didn't win because his backstage antics, he was basically acting a fool. So, that's the rumor I heard. But they said because he didn't win the championship, they added him to the main event. That's why he was in the main event at WrestleMania. Another fun fact. So, after he didn't win that match on that SmackDown, there was a King of the Ring tournament SmackDown exclusive only. And in the quarterfinal round, which is the beginning of the first round, Randy Orton had his ankle snapped and broken into two storyline-wise by Kurt Angle. Now, he was out for 2 months. Now, the real reason he was out this long because he had a 60-day suspension for unprofessional conduct. And he did a statement, he apologized, and he's going to do better once he come back. Now, when he did come back, he was not part of SmackDown roster anymore. He got drafted to Raw. And Kurt Angle also wasn't on SmackDown either. He was drafted to ECW when ECW was newly reformed. They had started the third brand of ECW. In 2005, they started. So this was in 2006. This was the second year of the ECW brand. So it pretty much continued a rivalry from the King of the Ring tournament. Now, Randy Orton, he saw Kurt Angle cut a promo, how he's going to ECW, he's going to make an impact over there. And I think he was talking to Edge and Mick Foley. Randy Orton came from behind, RKO'd him. And they had another promo saying that they're going to have a match at the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view for June 11th. So they had that match. Kurt Angle defeated Randy Orton. He made him tap out to the ankle lock. Now, these matches him and Orton they had 3 matches altogether. They wasn't that long, but they had a little small rivalry, which was still good. So they had another rematch. This was at Vengeance, the fall pay-per-view. What's crazy, it was within the same month. It was June 25th, and they just had one a few weeks prior. They could have just had a rematch on Raw ECW episode. Didn't make sense to me, but I don't write for WWE, so that's not my lane. They had the rematch at Vengeance. Randy Orton got offense on Kurt. A lot of offense this time. They made him look stronger. He exposed the turnbuckle during the match. And when Kurt Angle was going for a move, he pushed him into the turnbuckle. When he turned around, he RKO'd him. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton wins the second match. So it's pretty much between One Night Stand and Vengeance. They're even though Kurt Angle beat him from the King of the Ring tournament 2-1. But that was not a long feud. It was very short, but they had decent matches. I wish they had more matches together because they had good chemistry. Kurt Angle, technical style. Randy Orton, his natural gifted style. They had real good chemistry. I could tell. I noticed it from the WrestleMania match, even though it was a triple threat with Rey Mysterio. You could tell they had a good match. WWE didn't play off of it. And I understand why, because they were both at this point on different brands. And Randy Orton was gone for a while after the King of the Ring tournament. But nonetheless, still wasn't bad, considering their matches were short. At this point, Randy Orton is becoming a top heel, and he's very much a superstar at this point. So he's getting involved in more and more high feuds with other superstars. He had the feud with Undertaker that last year, very good underrated feud. Now he had a feud with Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio, then Kurt Angle separately. So Randy Orton's really coming to his own as a heel character, become the top heel in the company, in my opinion, at the time. Now, this is all of the superstar status I have. Next video, I'm going to discuss more of when he officially moved to the Raw brand. He already officially moved to the Raw brand, but